Hey everybody, just about ready to start. Just need to mute my other computer before I forget. Okay. So just to let y'all know, I almost, but not quite, managed to get the dailies done before the session started. Didn't quite make it. So I'm gonna wrap that up quickly now here at the start. And yeah, we'll take it as it goes from there. So yeah, feel free to say hi in the chat if you wanna. And in just a minute, when I finish all these up, excuse me, we'll get started. Let's go with that one. Always they want the big sigh. Fortunately, we have USS Hope. And what else are we going to use? We're going to need something high tech. That's a good one. And then we're going to need like 20-ish ing and 8 tech. A little overkill on the tech front, but sure. I'm just not seeing anything that gives me good stuff here, so I'll give this one a shot. It's got the big psi again. Everything always wants a bunch of psi, probably because psi ships aren't that great late game, and so people are less likely to have a lot of high-end psi ships. But that is kind of where we're at, I guess. That didn't make a whole lot of sense, but I'm distracted by trying to do this. Let's try that. And we still need like 20 psi. So I guess we're stuck using another tier 6 on it. Which case, do we even need this guy? I don't think we do. We do. Shoot. I did not know I could double-click them. Well, shoot. And still nothing that gives me energy credits, which is really all I'm using this for. I had some stuff before I started streaming that did, but sure, whatever. There we go. That fills up my slots. Duty officers, since all I'm bothering with these days is diplomacy, probably won't take long. Yeah. There's no diplomacy missions. So that just leaves. So reputation-wise, I had enough rep to do 2 of them, but I am out of Omega rep marked. Wait, I'm not? Well, okay then. I guess I don't have to worry about it. I thought I was going to have to do an Omega Mark questy side thing, but I don't, which is good, because those are kind of meh. And I don't know that they'd be much fun to watch. This is getting a little crowded. I think I might want to sell some, like, shield arrays and personal shields. Yeah. So let's do that real fast, and then we will start with the next mission. Yay. Where is my summon freighter power? Why is that not a V tray? Why does it not exist? Is it call rather than summon? Yes, it's call. Cool. I'm gonna stick that over to the side because it doesn't take up. Oh, you can't actually remove things. God damn it. Okay, well, whatever. Let's sell some stuff. I don't believe there's actually any difference between doing it this way and doing it by discarding it. I think you get the same energy credits either way. But, when you do it via discards, it takes longer. Ooh, I should check that out. Oh yeah, I already decided that wasn't as good as what I've got. I'll leave the consoles for now. Oh, okay, I don't need 87 auto-targeting modules. Or any, for that matter. Why do you let me sell the hoarded hatchling? That's horrific! That's slave trading! Okay, that's interesting. Where'd I get that? Interesting. Alright, that's probably enough space. Yeah, that should be enough for a session. I see a couple more people came in. Hello, couple more people. Alright, I think we're about ready to start the actual thing. So let's do the next mission. Let's see, what voices? Indeed. Admiral, the Undine vessel you were tracking from the Omicron Kappa 2 system has been sighted near NGC 4447. Borg ships have also been detected in this area. While there are no populated systems in danger there, we still need to know why the Borg and the Undine have escalated their conflict to now. Go find the Borg sphere that took the Undine from Omicron Kappa 2. The answers we need will be there. Okay. Let's go. My ship is pretty in the sunlight. She is a pretty ship, the Root. I am quite fond of her. I actually started rereading Dumbing of Age. I only had time to get like 4 strips in, but it's their 10th anniversary, I think. So I'm looking forward to catching up on it. It's been a couple years, I think, since I last read it. I tend to do that with webcomics. I drop them for long periods and then reread them from the start every couple of years. Okay. Captain, I'm detecting the wreckage of an Undine ship. It could be the vessel following the Borg sphere that captured the Undine prisoner on Omicron Kappa 2. We must stop the sphere before it can return to the collective fleet. Any information the Borg could learn from the prisoner could upset this balance of power. Oh, I'm right on. Oh, is that the debris? Confirmed, sir. The wreckage matches the energy signature of the Undine vessel that followed the Borg sphere that captured the Undine prisoner on Omicron Kappa 2. That feels like a children's folk song. It appears to have been destroyed recently. We must be very close. Like, you mean that sphere up there? Sir, sensors detecting a Borg sphere dead ahead. If by dead ahead we mean, like, 2 o'clock and rather up. Energy signatures indicate that this is the same sphere that we have been pursuing. I kind of miss our warbird right now. Yeah, may as well lose level for the other ship here. Borg reinforcements. Somewhere. Where exactly? Ahead, I guess? Oh, crud. Alright. Well, here goes. Ow. That was bad. That was very, very bad. And I did not respond appropriately. Fuck. Well, we lasted longer than the Saratoga. Is the quality bad for anyone else, or is it just me? The quality's... I guess it's better now. The stream quality kind of dropped for a second for me. Yeah, I miss our warbird. And at least we did some damage. That was bad. They're running away. Borg don't run away. Why was I not at top speed? When did that happen? Excuse me, Borg ship. What do you think you are doing? did almost nothing. What the heck? Borg don't run. And I have very little memory of this mission. So I honestly don't know what it's doing. Oh. Now I do. Those rifts open into Fluidic Space. The Borg have tangled the Undine in Fluidic Space before. That's a sphere that just shot past ignoring. They were defeated. They were unable to assimilate the Undine, and without that, the Undine were able to push them out. If they're willing to send a force into Fluidic Space again, the Borg must think that they have adapted in a way that will allow them to defeat the Undine. This region is ours to protect, sir, and our orders are to eliminate the Borg threat. I recommend that we engage the Borg in the Undine and secure the area. Yep. Let's see. Hang on, which one is actually doing worse? Okay, let's... Okay. Looks like there's a sphere over there, but it looks like it may have already defeated its Undine. Yes, I know. Shield's failing. I get it. Items. That'll eventually be useful. I am eventually... There is a later mission. Something below me and back this way. Ah! Bioships. There is a later mission that gives... I remember the Nakor ships being pretty hefty. A later mission that gives a bunch of good phaser stuff, and one of the ship types I want to play with eventually really kind of demands a phaser build. So eventually, for purposes of that ship, I'll be switching to phaser. Oops. Borg ship reappearing through the rift, and it has an Undine vessel locked in a tractor beam. If the Borg brought an Undine vessel to our dimension, they must have some purpose for it. They may have even adapted to the point that they can assimilate the Undine's organic technology, or even the Undine themselves. Dun, dun, dun. I'm detecting Undine ships about to emerge from the singularity. Perhaps they are trying to rescue their ship as well. The Undine are heavily armed, sir. I recommend avoiding confrontation. We'll choose our target's care. What voice did I decide for this character? For my name? We'll choose our targets carefully, but I want both the Borg and the Undine out of our space. Alright. Let's go find them. Ah, there's a cube and a heavy bioshield. Okay, that wasn't hard. And again, Undine powerful. Let's keep our distance. Pick up Undine life signs in the Borg cube. If the Borg transported Undine onto the cube, they're either testing a new assimilation process or they've already learned how to assimilate Undine. Imagine defending the Empire against Undine drones. I have. It's scary. I don't want to. We have an opportunity. The Borg cube is damaged and it will take time for it to be fully operational. We can take advantage of that. Temporarily block this cube's link to the collective. That will give us a chance to beam aboard and stop the Borg from completing their assimilation process with the Undine. Now I'm better remembering this mission. Oh boy. Sir, mission logs from other ships have reported that when the Borg are on their own vessels, they do not see most humanoids as a threat and will only enter combat in their own defense or if a vital component of the ship is threatened. The drones here appear to be acting the same way. If we don't engage them, perhaps we can find the Undine without having to fight. There's a background frequency that is interfering with my tricorder, but I believe there are Undine life signs somewhere on this level. Okay. What are you doing? Oh, you're... That was interesting. Wait a minute. Borg ships don't have guardrails. I guess Borg OSHA is finally a thing. Good on the Borg workers. They must have had to strike repeatedly to get that. And I imagine that's fairly challenging when you're, you know, linked into a mind-warping collective. Captain, I believe I can modify your tricorder to be able to access the Borg terminals. However, that could alert the Borg to our presence. Make it so. It's not a Star Trek game if I don't get to say that on occasion. Sir, this data confirms that the Borg have Undine aboard and are trying to assimilate them. Oh, they're adapting to me. What's the... Oh god, they're behind me. What are you doing back there by yourself, Lhasa? Alright, any of you coming out to play? No? Okay. Well, shit, I want that. Ah, actually reminds me, I had that neat thing in my kit. The transphasic bomb. Oh, that's a better version of that. I never use that. A mortar would be much more useful. Even if it is only white quality. Hey, Rabbit Cube, how's it going? How's it going with you too, Fruit Bat? I don't think I asked. On the other hand, I just saw you, like, 2 days ago, so... Captain, this data indicates that the Borg have invaded Fluidic Space and established a beachhead. No wonder the Undine are attacking in force. Someone in the smoke? Oh, so there is. And they're adapted.
Congratulations, Admiral.
And I gained a level. Which I will worry about in a minute. Okay. So pilot is fully mastered, I believe. Yes. So we are working on Commando. What do we got? That would be neat. That's amazing. I love it. I may go for that. Improved crits while aiming. I do aim a lot. Alright, let's... As entertaining as this one is, I'm gonna go with this one. What was this one again? Oh, that's actually good too, and it unlocks a bunch of stuff. Oh. Oh yeah, I'm an engineer. I should be using kit stuff all the time. This is actually the way to go. Okay. In fact, I've been approaching this all wrong, since they don't start attacking until I... Okay. Let's get behind this thing, so that there's cover, and start laying down dealings. And where's the shield generator? And we're gonna want the gun to be less covered. And the mortar. Where's my mortar? Where's the mortar I got? It should be here. Why is it not here? I didn't equip it, right? Did I not equip the mortar? No, it's right there. Quantum Mortar Mark 12. Why is it not in my... Oh, there it is. Right, that's the order the alphabet goes in. Okay. Okay. Now then. I used the wrong ability. I used the invisibility power. That's actually not a bad idea either. Okay, now that all of that is set up, you download the Borg data. doing way better. Okay. Oh, there was still one more. I'm trying to lower a force field that's blocking me from something or other, I guess. Let's, once again, go behind the thing to drop the, and go over here. Get us... all of that prep, and they're not attacking us. Okay. Fine. Let's go through the force field. Blocked off thingy. Deal. Whatever. Definitely detecting Undine life signs ahead, but something appears to be wrong with them. Their patterns don't match the information we have available in their physiology. Yep. Bad things are happening, that is why. Oh, good. Oh, that's a drone. Nope. Sure. Yes. Okay. You're gonna start coming from behind us, aren't you? No? You're coming for us. Oh, that's just... That all of them? Yes, thank you once again for the healing hand grenade. Weirdo. Oh good, more coming from behind us. Exactly what I was anxious about before. For a second, Lias's posture worried me. I thought she got re-assimilated. Okay. Mysterious room of mysterious goings-on. What are they doing to those Undine? Were they failed experiments, or is that what the Borg wanted to do to them? We must help them, sir. If we destroy the nodes, it should free them from Borg control. We can't let them live like this. Those things were unpleasant. Looks like the Undine killed itself rather than risk becoming fully assimilated. Creepy room of creepiness. That is a lot of Undine corpses? Parts? Okay. I don't know what effect is going on me, but it appears to be ongoing damage of some kind. That was weird. Killed itself rather than be assimilated. I mean, can't super blame it. Yeah, that is a good point, Fruit Bat. The Undine are all about biotech. From what we saw of their home universe in Voyager, they have no other materials to work with. There's some kind of fluid medium, and everything else is organic. And so yeah, they do biotech, and yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I guess that one just went straight to killing itself rather than being assimilated. That, or we took out the node with the first attack. Who's Cameron Hurley? Okay, somewhere around here must be a door to the next room. That? What the fuck is that? That is freaky. What is that? Some kind of organic something or other growing out of this pipe. I guess the Borg are experimenting with their assimilating organic tech. But yeah, because everything they do is biotech, the Borg could never assimilate any of it because its immune system was too strong for the nanites to function. I can't remember whether or not they used that in freeing 7 of 9 from the Borg. That's not something I want to see. I remember that thing. That thing is a nasty, nasty boss fight. And it just charged in, and I am not prepared for it. At least it seems to be staying mostly still. So we can do that. Ah, there's some little guys with it. I didn't even notice that. Let's get them out of the way. And drain its soul. What's left of one. Did it just OKO almost all of us? Holy shitballs. Oh god, it's here. It's out here with us. Yes, overlapping shield generators. I don't know if they stack, but let's assume they do. I think it's adapted to my stuff. Oh my god, it psychically paused me. Let's give us a moment of invisibility while I set some things up. That was a lot. Right, Fruit Bat? The Borg were supposed to be non-humanoid in the first place. That was the original plan for them, but a combination of budget shortfalls and the writer's strike kind of screwed up all their plans for the Borg. The last 2 episodes of the first season were building up for them. I think I've talked about that this before. Yes, let's overload the vinculum. That's how they connect to the hive. Cube seems to be reactivating. Recommend you beam back to the ship immediately. yeah, the Undine are actually one of the coolest alien designs in Star Trek. Successfully prevented the Borg from sending their findings back to the Collective, but we must destroy the ship to prevent the Borg from recovering the data. That wasn't so bad. Yeah, the Borg were meant to be the aliens from Conspiracy, and the destroyed outposts on the neutral zone were part of the build-up to them. Looks like the Undine destroyed the Borg cube before we had a chance. Congratulations, sir. We prevented the Borg from learning to assimilate the Undine and discovered the location of the Borg foothold in fluidic space. I'm sure we can adapt their techniques to open a singularity into fluidic space, sir, but first we should report our findings to command. You can leave the system on your orders, sir. Okay, before we continue any further, there is another one of those free promotional things they're doing. Oh, right. Let's resolve the mission. Indeed. Oh my. That was a close one. If the Borg had succeeded, I don't even want to think about fighting Undine drones. Good work, Admiral. You've done the Federation a great service. What's that do? Meh. Drain expertise. Let's see. We get to choose between 3 Borg prosthetics. Slow things down. Screw with their shields. None of them are great. I'll take that one because it's the least bad. Okay, so anyway, like I was saying, there's another promotion going. Why did it knock me off promotions onto personality?
The Federation has alerted us to a peculiar
problem.
problem.
Which I will find in a second, unless it's not up yet. Did I misinterpret what they were saying and it's not up yet? I thought it was an immediate thing. Maybe it's not up yet. Sorry, I'm checking real fast. It will be muted while I do. Recent tabs. Recently closed tabs. Kittimer Alliance. It appears to be up now. Oh, it's on the uniform tab, not the promotional tab. That's why I couldn't find it. Stop doing that. They did that with the 7 outfit, too. Let's see. There we go. Oh, and now I have to go to the promotions to get the Manatee Shield. Okay. So, this is based on the Kittimer Alliance, which is a thing from later in the game. We'll get there eventually. And it's a Vanity Shield, which let's take a look at what it looks like. How do I do that? Visuals, that's it. Shields. Eh, too orange. I think I like a regular look better. Although, actually, what did the Jem'Hadar look like? Do I have any? Oh yeah, I like the Jem'Hadar combat engine visuals. Wait, did it just disequip them because I switched them to visuals? No, I want them actually equipped. And we don't have any deflector visuals. Alright. What do we look like with the Jem'Hadar shields? Just kind of dark and blah. Not a fan. Alright. I think I'm gonna stick with the usual visuals. But I'm also going back to Romulus. And eating some goddamn food. I am starving and this has just been sitting here the whole time. See, where's the tailor? That's back this way, isn't it? Let's see what the Khitomer Alliance uniforms look like. This is not... Oh wait, no, this is where the tailor is. Let's see, what are we waiting right now? I want to keep that one intact. We don't need the Tal Shiar one anymore, so let's try swapping it for the Khitomer set and seeing what it looks like. That's rather better lighting. That's terrible. That's good. Okay. Let's see. Uniform. Khitomer Alliance. Maybe let's try it out on someone who has less going on with their uniform. Like her. Interesting. I totally forget what she even is. Psi? Tac? Hang on, I gotta cancel back out. She's an engineer, right? Right. Let's do that. And lighten it up to engineer colors. And because they're kind of our thing, give it some purples. It really does. I kind of like it. Do we want this to be like a really dark purple? Or a... Oh. Like a different, lighter purple. That works. Huh. And then darken this up to straight black. I'm liking it so far. What we got on lower halves out of it? Does it have a tight pant? No? Does it have a loose pant? No. Does it have a tucked high pant? There it is. Yeah. Does it have a tucked low pant? No. Can't say I'm a fan of the pants. I don't like the tucked pants anyway. Let's switch her into a skirt. Let's see what we've got. Wrong part of the boot. Wrong part of the boot. Alright, what's the thing that changes the freaking main boot? There we go. Okay. I want straight up black, or maybe like a deep purple. Straight up black it is. Okay, how do I get the same color? Okay, that's the main script color. This is where we can get like a... Right? And let's... Shiny, shiny tights. That looks terrible. So yeah, that's not bad. Let's see how it looks on another character. Because I do like our everybody looks a bit different thing, ragtag band thing we've got going. Who do we use these days? We use Tovan Kev. We use Liesa, Bashir, and Tone. Let's see how it looks on Liesa. That looks good on her. Matches her hair. Gotta change the boots, though. They are the wrong color. See, we can't get a good orangey yellow on it. Well, actually we kind of can. And then give them just a bit of the purple. What do we think now? I feel like she needs some decoration in this area. I'm not liking any of this. What about a badge? I don't like her with a Starfleet badge. What's the Kidder Alliance badge look like? That's kind of neat. Is that actually getting dimmer as I move out? Oh. Top one best. That's a good point. All right. How are we feeling about how she looks now? Okay. Yeah, I really like that too. I'm quite happy with this uniform. All right. Let's get ourselves assigned another mission, shall we?
The Federation has alerted us to a...
That's not the one I want. I believe this is the final mission of the storyline. Oh wait, no. Second to last. The data you recovered from the Borg cube indicates that the Borg have established a foothold in Undine space. The Undines seem to make very little distinction between alien races, so it's quite possible that the Borg presence in their home is causing their aggressive behavior. We cannot afford a full-out war with the Undine. Their biotechnology surpasses even our most advanced technology. Therefore, we have assembled an expedition to remove the Borg presence from Fluidic Space. We found a system where the fabric of the two dimensions are breaking down. This is our best shot at creating a stable quantum singularity. The expedition will include USS Voyager, commanded by Admiral Tuvok. He has analyzed the data you received from the Borg cube and is confident he can create an artificial singularity. Your orders are to cross into Fluidic Space with the Voyager, locate the Borg, and remove them if possible. Avoid contact with the Undine. They will have the advantage and you'll end up in a fight you can't win. Okay. Fluid dynamics.
Welcome to the CUDA system. I am Admiral Tuvok of the USS Voyager. I will provide tactical assistance on this mission.
It's a privilege, Admiral. Even in the Romulan Republic, we have heard stories of Voyager's search for home.
Thank you. Your meteoric rise through the ranks is well known to me as well. Sensors indicate the division between normal and fluidic space is thinner here, making crossing much easier. The Undine have used this location in the past. We will use it now. The majority of the fleet will remain here to protect this area. Our team will enter fluidic space, locate, and then survey the Borg presence there. If possible, we will destroy it. When you are ready, Voyager will open the singularity.
Open the singularity, Admiral Tuvok. We go first. As I find the button. Oops. That's quite a fleet. Slow down. Maneuver around. And go in. Cannot believe I actually missed the bloody thing. So it looks like we have some Klingon and Romulan ships in here too.
We have made a successful transition into fluidic space. Unlike our own, this dimension is filled with an organic fluid. The main indigenous life form is species 8472. Sensors are detecting a Borg signature nearby. Your vessel will take the lead in the investigation. We will follow.
While, yes it is, there are characters who aren't. We've already met Captain Jordan. Sir, we are being affected by a wave-like current in fluidic space, which is causing our ship to move involuntarily. Wish we had more time to study this phenomenon. Acknowledged. Why is everyone else going the opposite way? I think we've also met Captain Nog, haven't we? Some kind of Borg device. Approach and get a closer scan. Okay. Everything here messes with my sense of scale. But not as much as another location that's shortly after this. Scans indicate this is an interplexing beacon, sir. The Borg must not be able to transmit their subspace frequencies as easily through the organic fluid that comprises fluidic space. These relays are boosting the signal to allow communications with the collective in normal space. This means we should be able to follow these beacons to the Borg foothold here. I'm really distracted by the way my ship keeps occasionally moving because of the currents. Set course for the next beacon. Of course, the other thing I'm thinking of is one of my favorite... Wait, where is the next beacon? One of my favorite Futurama jokes. Where's the next beacon? I don't see it. Oh, it's right there. Which is when they go to the bottom, get dragged to the bottom of the ocean while searching for the lost city of Atlanta. And somebody says something along the lines of, we're being dragged to the bottom of the ocean where the pressures can reach the thousands of atmospheres. Fry asks, how many can the ship take? And Professor Farnsworth replies, well, it's a spaceship, so anything between 0 and 1. Because spaceships and submarines are not the same thing, kiddos. Data acquired, sir. There appears to be a total of 5 interplexing beacons. The next one is just ahead. Oh, I see it now. I mean, there's some other great Futurama jokes. It was a very good series. At least before the revival of it. I really didn't care for the for when Comedy Central brought it back. I feel like the reduced restrictions of cable actually hurt the show. Because it meant they didn't have to be as clever to achieve humor. This beacon appears to be picking up a subspace transmission from within fluidic space with a Starfleet signature. Recommend reinvestigate. Agreed. Set an intercept course for the source of the signal.
We've been examining the data on the interplexing beacons, and we believe we may have discovered a vulnerability in the Borg subspace carrier wave technology. If it's acceptable to you, I would like the Venture to remain here and run some tests while you investigate the signal. We may not get another opportunity.
If that is acceptable, we will investigate the signal while the Venture remains here. I love these freaky, blobby, corally things that are all over the place in fluidic space. But again, everything here messes with my sense of scale so badly. I feel like we're crawling along. We're actually going at, like, impulse, what? 147.5.
This landmass is unique in fluidic space. It is not a planet by Starfleet definitions. If I had to categorize it, I would say it is similar to the coral reefs found in Earth's oceans. The ground itself is a framework for living creatures. Fascinating. We are detecting a number of ships in the area. Starfleet, Klingon Defense Force, Romulan Republic, even Ferengi and Cardassian. Most species from the Alpha and Beta quadrants appear to be represented.
These ships have identical configurations to ships found in the Alpha and Beta quadrants, but they cannot have been constructed there. I'm detecting alloys that are not used in standard ship construction. Run a metallurgical analysis. Aye, sir. Running analysis now. The alloys correspond to technology found on Iconia and in recovered Iconian technology. But why would the Iconians make fake ships? I intend to find out. Sir, I'm detecting some kind of gateway opening and a huge fleet coming through. On screen. Those must be more Iconian frogs. The Undine are destroying them. Sir, we're picking up an incoming distress call from the USS Venture. On screen.
Captain Simmons to Voyager. The Borg are here. We're taking heavy fire and need immediate assistance.
Oh, sorry about that. Set course to the Venture. Maximum speed. That's not something you want to see when you set course for one of your ships. Dr. Cooper was in an escape pod, Captain. He wants to speak to you in the transporter room. Patch him through.
I never should have
Remember
come on this
this
mission.
jackass?
I'm a scientist, not an explorer. Take me out of this awful place right now.
Calm down for a second and talk to me. What happened?
The Borg attacked and we had to abandon ship. We were floating here, waiting, and then Undine. They came out of nowhere, tore through us like tissue paper. We shouldn't have invaded their space. They're so strong, we're weak. Please take me out of here.
What about Captain Simmons? She's not in the escape pods.
I don't know. It all happened so fast. She insisted on being the last one to leave the ship. I don't even know if she made it out alive. Now, can we leave?
I'm sorry, Dr. Cooper, but we have a mission to complete. Although, actually, since I didn't do it between missions, I'm going, and I apologize for doing it in the middle of this, going to take a quick, short break to drink some water and or to refill my water and all that kind of stuff. Back in a minute. Alright, we are back. Let us do the thing. What is the thing we're doing anyway? Scan next interplexer. I guess is that? Apparently not. Oh, it's that. Beacon scanned, sir. Coordinates of vital beacon have been downloaded. Beacon is handling a significant amount of traffic, sir. The last beacon should give us the information we need. Not seeing that. Oh. Yeah, that doesn't look good. You don't see many... Oh, that sound effect. That is actually the V'ger sound effect from Star Trek The Motion Picture. They like to associate it with the Borg in this game. Sir, this is the final beacon. I have the coordinates of the Borg fleet. We're very close. Shields up. Proceed with caution. That's pretty Borgy. And I think that might be an actual Borg cube up ahead. Maybe? No?
The Borg presence is much larger than we anticipated. Nevertheless, our orders are to remove as much of it
Those
as
are Borg
possible.
cubes.
Voyager will follow your lead.
I possibly acknowledge
Is
we're
that
going
a Borg
in.
Unimatrix? It's enormous!
I admit that it is an impressive structure.
Oh, I got too far. Oops. Ah, stupid fluidic space. It's all drifty. What else have we got? You're fighting something. What are you fighting? Nothing. There are some more Borg very far below us. Way below us. What is it picking up? There's something on this level. Over here. Wait, is that the one we already beat? That's the one we already beat. And that's what they took care of. I think the notion that the Borg are connected with Vega is actually V'ger is actually a pretty common fan theory.
Diamond is jamming our deflector arrays. We must destroy it before we can retreat.
Oh good, a Borg diamond. That's the one of the most powerful types of Borg ships. Oops. I thought that was already off. Damage resistance is nice to have. So are shields. It goes back. And this thing. And this.
Opening singularity now. I recommend an immediate withdrawal.
Sounds like a good plan. On the other hand, that's a tempting target. Oh, it's offline. Somehow. Let's go blow it up. Oh, the Undine. Oh god, the Undine are swarming. Now that we've gotten rid of the Borg, they're swarming. The Borg command ship. Let's not do that then. Enter singularity. That was easier than I remembered it being. Possibly because I'm higher level than the last time I did that. Possibly because I'm using a pretty darn good ship. I don't know.
We need to report to Starfleet Command immediately. We thought that the Undine were responding to a Borg incursion into their space, but it now appears that the Iconians, or some entity posing as them, has created false Alpha and Beta Quadrant ships and sent them into fluidic space. Clearly, the Undine attacked us because they thought we attacked them first.
Starting with the bad news, I see.
There is some good news. The spread of the Borg nanovirus has halted, and thanks to the Doctor's research, we should be able to prevent future planets from being assimilated in this manner. The Borg will adapt in time, but we have also stopped them from transmitting the technique for Undine assimilation to the collective. It is possible they could learn how to do so again. We will need to remain vigilant.
What about the Borg in fluidic space?
The Borg in fluidic space were forced to retreat, and logic suggests it will be quite some time before they trouble the Undine again. The end of the Borg attacks in their home might stop the Undine advance into our space. But if the Iconians continue to trick Species 8472 with false incursions, they could decide to invade ours in retaliation.
What happens now?
Voyager will take Dr. Cooper and the other survivors back to Earth. I suggest that we all confer with our fleet commanders to determine the next course of action. We have not seen the last of the Undine.
Understood. Until next time, Admiral. So, that's essentially the end of this storyline. They've got that whole thing where they added the 5-player missions into the storylines at various points. In this case, you go to this newly constructed Borg transwarp conduit, which turns out to actually be a conduit through time, and you don't want the Borg time traveling, so you fight them and try to destroy it, and then you get kind of a boss encounter with a assimilated, Borgified version of the scimitar from Star Trek Nemesis. It's not a great thing. So, the new Romulus Arc is the next one in the main story, but between this and that, there's one of those removed arcs, and it has some significant stuff for later in the game. Setting it up, I mean. Excuse me. So I'm going to do that next instead. We've received a request for aid from the Deferi, a warp-capable species in the Alpha Quadrant. They're located near Cardassian space, and they've reported several attacks on their shipping. Since the Deferi are not as technologically sophisticated as the Federation, and they're asking for help, we should assist them. Head out there and see what you can do. Also, if I remember right, one of the missions gives a improved version of those mines I've been using. Oh. We haven't actually finished the mission. Lol. Oops. We may not have been able to remove the Borg presence in fluidic space, but it looks like the Undine will. Hopefully this will end their aggressiveness. However, I find your reports of false flagships in fluidic space troubling. If the Iconians are trying to trick the Undine into believing that we've invaded their space, it could explain everything else that's happened. Unfortunately, it only means that the Undine may be prompted into an invasion of their own, and if that happens, our entire dimension will be at risk. Oh. That is pretty good. This is all anti-proton stuff, which I don't even need, and it's not actually that good anti-proton stuff. So, whatever. Excuse me. Get the cannons, and, sure, whatever. I'll probably sell all of that later anyway. Now I'll leave. Oops. So yeah, that's the Borg plotline. I believe at this point, either it or the Klingon plot is the oldest in the game. Like the Klingon tutorial stuff. Now, I can jump straight to Deferi Space.
The Tall Shield think they can use Borg technology safely.
Blah, blah, blah. Yes, I can in fact transwarp directly to Defera. But I think that might actually screw up the mission start, so I'll use this one. So let's start a new arc. One that has been kind of removed from the game. Oh, that was one of those just go there and you get the reward missions, wasn't it? Okay. I was quite impressed with the successful outcome of the recent trade negotiations at Starbase 39 Sierra, and I am pleased to invite the Federation to send an envoy to the Defera system for a more formal meeting. This could be a great opportunity for both of our peoples. The Federation has requested an alliance with us on several occasions, but my people's adherence to the balance has prevented it. Now they are more open to the idea of ties with other worlds. Perhaps your visit will be the start of a lasting friendship between our peoples. So yeah, this is the same guy that we dealt with on Starbase 39 Sierra, and and on D-Space 9 before we were interrupted by the time-lost Jem'Hadar. Alright, let us begin Cold Call. We have arrived at the Defera system, sir. Performing standard sensor sweeps now. Sir, some of this debris is only days old, but there have been no reports from the Deferi of accidents or combat in this area. I don't like the looks of this. I recommend that we proceed with caution. The Jessica is standing by for the approach to Defera, sir. Shall we begin our escort? Oh. Greetings, my friend. May you be blessed with balance. I remember well the assistance that you provided. I am gratified to see that just as I went to visit your people before, now you have come to visit mine. Surely this balance will be beneficial for both of us. We appreciate the Federation's willingness to meet with us in these trying times. So they've got phase cloaks of some kind. Doopy-doo. Escorty escort mission. Sir, we're picking up an approaching warp signature, attempting to identify it now. Sir, the ship was running a subspace jammer, so we weren't able to get a lock on it before it warped out. I am, however, picking up a residual warp signature. We might learn more from a detailed scan. Or we could just recognize the rather unique output on the outline of the ship. But sure. Clearly, whoever it was took one look at my ship and ran in terror. Oh, we made it. Greetings, Jessica Escort Ship Route. We are required to identify your credentials and verify you are, in fact, the correct ship prior to granting you access to Defera. Please submit to a scan at this time. Understood. Do you require assistance? No assistance is required at this time, Route. Thank you for your cooperation. Our scans are complete. Please provide us with your clearance code before you establish orbit around Defera. Our Defera access code is 946W2QOS. Thank you for your protection and escort. Your diligence and readiness does you credit. Perhaps later we will be able to learn more about that strange ship. For now, let us discuss the possibility of trade and diplomacy between our peoples. My attaché will send you the planetary coordinates for our transport. These coordinates will take you to one of our famous historical parks and preservation sites. I hope that you enjoy your visit to Defera. When you are ready to talk, please meet me on the steps of the historic tower. It will be across the park, past the monument when you arrive. I've received planetary coordinates from the Jessica. Are you ready to beam down, sir? Let's do it. I like that whatever it is coming from the tower. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty. And I like how open and treey their city is. I'm honestly not sure if this is a map or art. I think it's a map. Subway system or something like that? Are these transparent? No, it is very reflective. Also nice. Welcome to Defera, honored visitor. This site is the oldest continually inhabited site on my world, and as such, we find it to be the ideal place to welcome visitors. If I recall correctly, the oldest continually inhabited place on Earth is Jericho. Anyway, tell me about the Deferi. We have an old culture steeped in tradition and respect for all beings. The Makers taught us the concept of balance, and we strive for it in all things. For more than a century, we have remained neutral in our dealings with other worlds, for where there is balance, so also there is truth. We are now looking to expand. Our population is growing to a point where we will put a strain on our world's resources. To correct this imbalance, a portion of our people have volunteered to seek new homes among the stars. This, of course, has put us into greater contact with beings such as yourselves, and we welcome the new ideas and technology that you have to offer. Perhaps, by looking inward for so long, we've become out of balance with the galaxy as a whole. I look forward to your help in correcting this. Okay, back up a sec. This idea of using colonization of other planets to deal with overpopulation is a pet peeve of mine, because it is not workable for anything like the human population. Now, maybe the Deferi are different. Maybe they only have 1,000 babies a year on their whole planet, and therefore sending 1,000 people a year off into space will work. But humans have hundreds of millions of babies a year. If we were at near the population limit of this planet and still producing that level of babies, sending people into space would not help, because we cannot possibly send enough people into space to make a dent in that number. That said, it doesn't matter anyway, because overpopulation turns out to not actually be a problem. Every first world nation has a lower birth rate than death rate. The population growth of humanity as a whole is slowing, and we're still well under the capacity of what we can sustainably produce food for. Now, we're not sustainably producing food for it, but we could. Anyway, rant over. Also, anyone complaining about overpopulation is an eco-fascist, because it's inevitably going to be poor and brown people that they say have to stop breeding. Tell me about the ruins to the east of here. That was his voice, not mine. We believe that the site to the east of here was once used by the Preservers. Also, I realized I gave him the same voice as Bashir, and I don't know what to do about that. Because we have located several artifacts that appear to correspond with their technology. Although we do not know for certain, it is our belief that the Deferi were one of the races seeded throughout the quadrant by the Preservers. They, like us, revered balance and saw life as sacred. They went to great lengths to preserve all life. Okay, I have a rant about the Preservers, but I'll save that for later. Can you explain more about balance? Everything must be in balance. When one side is dominant over the other, the inequity brings resentment. The resentment leads to hatred and misunderstanding. On our world, there is equity in everything. All major decisions are made by polling the populace, so that a small group of leaders will not have power over the whole. Persons in what can be deemed leadership position, like myself, serve at the pleasure of our people. If we abuse our positions, there will be imbalance, and we will be removed. So, basic democracy. Tell me more about the Preservers. The Preservers were an ancient race that died out eons ago, but made a great impact on the galaxy in their time. The Preservers would transplant members of races that were threatened by extinction to worlds where they could thrive. The planet Amaranth, oh, that fucking name, was settled by them, and they brought ancient Terrans there to create a new community. For many years, scientists theorized that the Preservers were responsible for the spread of humanoids across the galaxy. We now know that the Preservers not only transplanted communities, but also created them. The Preservers believed that they were alone in the galaxy. In the hopes of creating an ecosystem of races like themselves, they seeded their genetic material on other planets. In this way, they gave their children the companions that they never had. So, sir, sensors from the route are picking up green transporter signatures. Get ready, sir. They could be hostile. Hi. I would like to get out of the ice, please. Why am I wielding a sword? Okay. So basically, this game is going with the fan theory that... Ooh, did I just get a level 13 version of that? With the fan theory that, Okay, let's compare, because that's blue quality and this is white. Creates a combat supply 1 crate for 25 seconds. With a 1 minute change. Oh, this makes a better crate. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the one I got. Still neat, I'm getting level 13 drops now. Anyway, yeah, they're going with the fan theory that the Preservers are also from that awful, awful TOS episode with the planet Amaranth. They're going with the fan theory that they're the same species as the ancient humanoids from that extremely silly TNG episode where all life... No, I can't get out that way. But there is a breed. Where all humanoid life is descended from planets seeded billions of years ago by the first humanoid life, and that's why everything in Star Trek is humanoid. And I have so many problems with that concept. You don't even know. But there's someone up here to do this. There's someone over here to do this too. Where are they? They're back here. Even setting aside my problems with that concept, which mostly have to do with the fact that it makes no goddamn sense, how does something done in, like, you know, 3.5 billion years ago, which is how far they would have to have meddled with life on Earth in order to... Ooh, bench. Can I sit on the bench? No. 0 out of 10. Would not play again. Anyway, I keep getting interrupted, but I'm trying to say, they, you know, would have to seed planets. Shit, we actually got that off before I killed him. 3.5 billion years ago, and what could they possibly have done 3.5 billion years ago to make humanoids more likely? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And of course, the other problem is, of course, that it's literally just intelligent design. Which is to say, something a bunch of regressive assholes want to impose on school children. And making it quote-unquote true in Star Trek is a bad and shitty move.
Enemy target on sensor. Shield losing power.
But the other problem with so those are my problems with those two concepts. The problem with making them the same thing is, again, the ancient humanoids have to have been around 3 billion years ago. But if they also are the preservers, that means they were picking up humans off of Earth like 500 years ago. Which means they lasted for 3 billion years and then conveniently vanished right before humans emerged onto the galactic scene. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Also, hell, if they were active that recently, did the Vulcans ever contact them? What about the Bajorans? They've been around way longer than that. Way longer than 500 years, I mean, not billions. I am frozen. So, yeah. That is my issue with that concept, but this game has decided to go with it as a thing. This is a much larger group of green.
Enemy target on sensor. Shield losing power. Enemy target on sensor. Enemy combatants in close proximity.
Romulans. How unfortunate some of you managed to survive the destruction of your homeworld. We'd hoped the galaxy would finally have been rid of you. You are weak, pathetic, and you should know better than to oppose us. We will wrest the Preserver's secrets from this place, and we will destroy anyone who stands in our way. It is hilarious that the current name for the current name for it is hilarious given current slang that the green name for captain is thought. Obviously, it is not safe for me to remain here, given the threat of further attacks. What now? I shall return to the Jessica for now, my friend. I believe I will be of best use there. Sir, there are more ships warping in. We need you to in the away team back on the ship, sir. Prepare for emergency transport. Grab the lockbox first. And then... On the other hand, we've got green here, and green are pretty neat. I like the idea of species that no one has ever actually seen, despite engaging with them in one-on-one combat, or ground combat. Yes, yes, we'll go save the Jessica. Doing to me has been really effective at knocking out my shields. Like, it's not just me, right? I have no shields, and they're not coming back. Yeah. At least the tractor beams are really freaking weak. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a bug or what, but I'm taking very little damage. Despite my shields apparently being down. Okay, well, that did some damage. Okay, things have suddenly altered. I think it's just not displaying my shields. But the only explanation I can give for how this fight is going that I do have them. Oh my. took me down really fast. Now I'm not sure if I had shields or not. Well, hopefully respawning will restore them. Or not. Oh, no, I've definitely got shields. I just saw them. Yeah, that's a no on the cluster torpedoes.
Rear shields failing. Target shields interfailed. Right shields failing.
Fuck, 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 fuck. Oh, I got out of range. That's what
Four shields failing. Rear shields failing.
fuck is that? Whatever it is doing damage, and I don't like it. Is that what killed me before? I think that's what killed me before.
Right shield failing.
Since when are there other enemies here? Yeesh. Oh, I got out of range of the items. Sure. Come back! It's green quality! Yeah, the deflector array might be good. It's a drain thing, so it probably isn't. But actually, a shield drain power wouldn't be a bad idea. Target control expertise. Actually, that would improve my tracker beam. It'll improve drain more. Let's go with it. Wait, what did the current one give? Oh. Defense. Yeah, I'll stick with the defense one. But I actually am thinking about switching to sheer. See my only science post on here? No, I've also got Hyven. I could teach Hyven. I really like the Shield Restorer Science Team 1. Yeah, I think it would have to be Bashir that I switch. This isn't a very useful power. I might switch that to a shield drain. Because I've got a much better shield regen improver. So, yeah, I might do that. Anyway, mission complete. Sir, the Bring don't attack at random. I'd say that there's more going on here than the Ferry are telling us. We're being hailed by the Justice, sir. Shall I put it on screen? Thank you for the assist, Rudin. We took some damage, but it's nothing that a few days in space dock won't fix. My friend, I have not been completely honest with you. I fear my actions are out of balance with the universe. I think we should speak face to face. Do I have your permission to come aboard the USS Root? Permission granted. Are we actually having something occur on board the ship for once? That never happens. This is definitely a conference room. This game needs a bottle episode so bad. I get there are technological challenges involved because there's no way of knowing what ship someone comes into it with, and different ships have different interiors, but come on. Honorable ally, I apologize for my secrecy, but at the time it was the best course of action. This is not the first time that the Breen have attacked Defera. Their aggression has increased in recent weeks. We have been unable to either stop them or open a diplomatic dialogue. The Federation has always promised to be our ally in time of need. While we prefer to remain neutral in your conflicts, we have looked favorably upon the Federation's actions. We seek to maintain peace and stability throughout the Alpha Quadrant. Now we are in need of your help. The Breen are attacking our ships and colonies without provocation. Hundreds have already died, and I fear that more lives will be lost unless we have your assistance. My people face destruction. I cannot believe that the balance of the universe requires us to die. I will be in contact with you again. I can only hope that your efforts will tip the balance in our favor. If there is anything else you would ask of me, or if you need greater understanding of my people, please do not hesitate to ask. We already had that. The site to the east was once used by preservers because several artifacts that appear to correspond with their technology. Don't know for certain. Oh, we already had that one. What could the Breen want at the ruins? The Breen could share our belief that the ruins are the remains of a preserver installation. The preservers were powerful. If the Breen gained access to their knowledge or technology, they might be able to use it to shift the balance of power in the quadrant. Our archaeologists have been studying those ruins for decades. Excuse me. If there is anything there that the Breen could use, we have not found it. We already had that one. So I think what would the Breen want was the only new one. And I have hiccups. We're done for today, Ambassador. Ambassador Sura has safely returned to the Jessica, sir. He requests that we contact him once we have left the system. We're ready to depart on your orders. Oh. That's better, actually. Did that change the visual of my deflector in any way? I guess it would be easier to come out and see. Let's just check if it's a visual deflector. No, it's not. Okay. Those are pretty rare compared to shields and engines. Okay. time for another break. I actually do like this little arc. The Breen are a little frustrating to fight against, but it's a fun arc that goes in some interesting directions story-wise, and has at least one really nifty environment, which we have not seen yet. And again, it sets stuff up for later in the game that we also haven't seen yet, but we will. I barely touched my water, so actually I guess I'm good to continue without needing to refill. So let's plunge onward. Out in the cold. We have lost contact with 2 transporters en route to the outer colonies. There were more than 400 Teferi on those vessels, and with the rising threat from the Breen, I fear the worst. The last known location was near VZA 4001, and I suggest that you start your search there. The Breen have no compunction against attacking civilian ships. We seek peace with the Breen, as we do with all beings, but they answer our offers of friendship with death and destruction. Find our ships. If there are any survivors, please bring them home safely. That is not far. Oh, we're out here. Ooh. There are, in fact, some diplomatic missions here. Come on, reload. Thank you. And resume course. We have a pretty ship. It is very pretty. I really like how the room looks in the dark. So how's this for an environment? We are inside a comet. I think, is what this is indicating. I'm not 100% sure, but it's cool. Sir, we are receiving an emergency distress signal from the Teferi freighter Tuvok. I'm patching it through to the main view screen now, sir. To all ships in range, this is the Teferi freighter Tuvok. We are under attack and require immediate assistance. We have no weaponry aboard and our shields are failing. Anyone who can hear this, please help! Must be one of the Breen raiding parties that we were warned about, sir. If we don't get there fast, there won't be anyone left aboard to save. I have located the Tuvok by tracing their distress signal, and we can engage on your command. The description said something about planetary fragments after one of the system's 2 stars collapsed into a black hole. So I'm not 100% sure what the source of the visual effect here is. But it's neat. No. Oh my god, that's what happened. I genuinely didn't have shields. I managed to bug the game into letting me equip a vanity shield. Thank you for saving us. Our sister ship, the Pactau, was waylaid by Breen raiders at our scheduled rendezvous point. We made a micro-warp jump as soon as the Breen arrived and used the magnetic field of the comet. Oh, it is a comet. To hide our energy signature, but the Breen have better sensors than we do. They found us. If you hadn't come along when you did, we would have been obliterated. I'm worried about the Breen being at our next stop, so I'm going to try to get there ahead of schedule and be gone before they arrive. Please find the Pactau. There were dozens of people aboard that ship. This is the Deferi ship Pactau. We escaped from a marine slaver attack, and our antimatter containment unit and warp coils are non-functional. We need replacement parts immediately. We're on the edge of a warp core breach. Is there any ship in range? Please, we need help. What's that other thing? Sure, ma'am. Down the comet we go! I see you, Pactau. I assume I'm gonna get attacked on my way to you. But I see you. Let's try to get on a plane with them and then level out a bit. Okay. You're a tiny ship. Sir, there are Breen ships inbound at warp 7. 2 ways from the looks of it. The first should be on top of us in seconds. Battle stations. Yep, there you are. I can't believe I was doing multiple fights without shields. That's kind of hilarious to me. I mean, no wonder that warship was hard. Also, I forgot to do these two things. Oh yeah, that stuff coming off of me was it doing a power drain. Where are you?
Warning.
You are above. Thank you for your fortunate assistance. We should be fine from here. I want to catch up with our sister ship, the Sabah. They fled at first sight of the Green Raiders. We've heard some of the slavers who attacked us talking about the Zarya system. If you want to take care of the Breen Menace for good, you might want to start by looking for them there. There was something else I was going to comment on, but I don't remember what it was. Just that I'm kind of wowed that I frickin' beat the last mission with no shields. No wonder it was so hard. Course laid in for the Zarya system, sir. Looks like there's nothing there of interest, just a broken planetoid. The system scans the ferry provider are fairly out of date though, so something may have changed. Standing by to engage on your command, sir. Oh, it wants me to actually go there. Okay. Please remind me after this mission, the Raven Sector? Is that what it's called? Rave. I want to give Bashir the Dealy Whacker. The replacement ability. Because, yeah, I think Shield Drain will be more useful right now. Sir, that destroyed planet has a dilithium-rich core. It looks like the Breen have set up a mine inside the remains of the planetoid, and, true to form, they're using all the captured Teferi as slave labor. We'll have to defeat the Breen picket squadrons before we can beam down to the mine. It looks like there's only a small force, sir. So... I thought I saw a ship out here. Yeah, nobody knows what the Breen look like. The explanation I've seen for how they can have fought, like, wars with extensive ground combat against them and still not know what they look like is, that they, they're adapted for temperatures so cold that when their suits are opened, they evaporate.
Core shield available. Rear shield available.
Which is a pretty cool concept. There's also apparently some stuff in some of the novels or somewhere to imply that they're actually a coalition of multiple species who just pretend to be one species. I forgot to do that. Where'd my mouse pointer go? There it is. Ah, there it is. Let's kill this warship first. Alright, the last group is down there. Okay. Even up our shields a little. Yes, cluster in close around me. I only get all kinds of nifty boosts when you do that. Never mind. Okay. Into the mines. That's less than Scout Squadron, sir. Unfortunately, we can't just beam up the Deferi. The Bream have some sort of transporter disruptor field. We need to get down there and disable it before we can rescue the slave laborers. Of course. Because with vanishingly few exceptions, every mission in the game must have both a space and a ground component. Although actually that Fluidic Space one did it. Huh. Did it? No, it was the mission before it where we went on board the Borg ship and fought the Undine. The assimilated Undine. It was still a very cool character design. Sensors are showing that the Breen are using 3 separate transport disruptors specifically key to Deferi physiology. The disruptors won't stop us or the Breen, but we will need to knock out those disruptors before we can transport any of the prisoners back to the room. Once we've neutralized the Breen guards, there should be nobody left to re-enable the transporter disruptors. Okay.
Enemy target on center.
I don't know what all that rumbling is, but I don't like it. Oh, we have to, like, actually go in here and go around and take out the Breen. Gotcha. Ah!
Shield losing power.
Breen have very nasty mines. They're ice mines. Don't ask me how that makes sense. It just does. Okay. This time we're getting our little enforcement up.
Enemy target on center.
Never mind. Getting out of here.
Enemy combat. Eliminate.
Anybody left in there? Yes.
Shield losing power.
Oh, it said he's dead. Should probably do something about that. Oh, you're already on it? Okay. What is that thing? Oh, it's a transporter inhibitor. Yay! Can I see a thingy over here? No? Okay. Nah, I don't care about trionium gas. Green!
Enemy target on center. Shield losing power.
Fortifications and type stuff aren't that great against the Green because of their very nasty mines. Like that. But drones, that's not a problem.
Shield losing power.
Am I still in the mine radius? I don't think I am. Oh, you're a green. Blast the inhibitors. Lost the slave masters, but before that, let's resummon our drones.
Enemy targets on center. Shield losing power.
And now to... oh. That's all the disruptors and guards, sir. I'm picking up a new contact aboard the station. We may have aroused the curiosity of the Green Commander. We should make sure the Teferi have breathed away safely before investigating this new threat. Sure, looks like they have. We have confirmation that all Teferi prisoners have transported safely. We are clear to return. You are the one known as to Jenny. I was expecting someone more impressive. After all, Thought Wen was one of my most reliable veterans. Defeating him must have pushed you to your limits. I'd like to say that I am looking forward to meeting you in person, but because I expect Thought Grant to end your life here, I am afraid that won't be possible.
Enemy targets on center. Shield losing power.
Did they get killed before they could drop the thing? Neat. I think you may have expected too much of Thought Grant. Done. Now that we've taken care of the officer in charge, this entire mining operation should fall apart. But who sent that message? Thought Trell? Could he be who is behind all the problems the Teferi are having? We'll need to look into this in more detail, sir. The Federation should be able to send patrols to ensure that the Greens don't set up shop here again. Or perhaps we will be able to convince the Teferi to surrender the rights to this dilithium mine to us. You can leave whenever you're ready, sir. Yes, the Romulans do kind of need dilithium mines. The Republic probably has few, if any. The survivors are on their way home, and we will be sending an expedition out to assess the viability of operating the mines ourselves. I think it would be wise to consider a joint operation with your government. The resources in the Zarya system are rare, and the best way to maintain the balance may be to share them with you. Thank you for all of your assistance. Your actions help to preserve the balance. Why is it telling me to choose one when it's... okay, fine. Whatever. The important thing is... Oh, and we've gained new things we can do in Fluidic Space. Used to just be that, now we have these as well. Anyway, Breen transphasic cluster torpedo, as I recall, is pretty good. Wait, did that say cluster torpedo? Oh. I thought it was a mine. Oh, no, it does deploy mines. But I can only shoot at people. Oh, no, 90-degree arc isn't actually that bad. The mines have no arc at all and go out automatically. On the other hand, this has twice the shield penetration. What's the comparable damage? 4 level 55 mines versus 10 level 51 mines. Each of which does almost twice as much damage. Yes. It'll be in the rear, which I recognize as weird, but I turn my back towards enemies fairly often in battle. Or I switch it with that. Open the fight by launching it. Both options. Yeah, you know what? That makes more sense. That way I'm guaranteed to always get it off at least once. Between that and the mine teleporting power... Yes. I can see some potential here. Alright. I wanted to get a thing for Bashir, and that requires going back to New Romulus. What was it I wanted to get him? Oh, right. Change his ability to a shield drain from that shield power that isn't very good. Especially since, honestly, defense has not been much of an issue here. What is that ugly-ass version of a... Screw that. Also, did I get anything for the set? Got Electro Array. So about the same impulse engines, shields, all that stuff. No, nothing from the green set. That's odd. Thought it was one information, but maybe not. Anyway, Command Center. Let's see. I think that was to the left. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Not there. Also, after this Breen arc, I think I'm going to switch back to the Dishaera. Let's see. Duty officer. Security officer. Bridge officer trainer. Okay. I want a space science lieutenant power. Specifically, Tachyon beam. Oh. I don't know, that's a placate one. It's not the really good one. Yeah. That's also a good power, but I really have not needed to hold heal. Boo-da-boop. Let's slap that on Mr. Siddiq. Learn. Ah, right. And with that done, I am going to take a quick break. Refill my water, all that good stuff. Back in a moment. I'm also gonna go back to space. Alright, back in a moment. I return with cookies I made myself, which is something I had not done before. So that's neat. Nope, still waiting on that cooldown. Okay. Cold comfort. We are receiving a distress signal in the Rave system. A ferry transport weathered a attack, but they've taken heavy casualties and are requesting immediate assistance. My people do not have military ships, Admiral, and I am loath to send a lightly armored rescue vessel into such a dangerous situation. Please, you must do whatever you can to help them. Why? Okay, that's also a good torpedo, but I'm not doing torpedoes on this build. I'll stick with the mine launcher. Cluster torpedo. Alright. To the Reve system. On the hurry. So y'all are quiet tonight. There's not much to comment on in these missions, or y'all as tired as me? Also, I'm saying y'all a lot, which is evidence of how tired I am. I mean, I say it occasionally. I did grow up in the South, although where I grew up, we're prone to disputing whether we're really from the South. But, yeah. Captain, we're being hailed by a disabled Deferi frigate. Putting on screen now. Thank you for responding to our distress call. We were boarded by the Breen and have taken severe casualties. We could use any medical aid you could render. Please approach and beam over as soon as you can. Oh yeah! Please beam over any medical supplies or personnel you can spare. We'll send your transporter chief the coordinates for our trauma center. This mission was conceptually interesting. Dr. Casa. By the balance, you couldn't have arrived at a better time. I need every available person to help with patients. I think the breed will take pleasure in causing pain. Few of our crew were killed, but many have been injured. If you want to help, I need someone at table 7. Take the patient's medical history and triage the injury. If it's a minor issue, go ahead and treat them so we can make room for another patient. Oh, I'm down here alone. Which table is 7? It's back there. That's weird. Please, it hurts. Help me. It's my left side. I took a disruptor hit from a green rifle. Please, I need something for the pain. Do you have anything that will help? Several medications available from the Deferi medkits we use to treat this patient's pain. Acinolithin, bicaridine, hydrocortisone, metorapan, and morphenolog. Oh, morphenolog are all indicated for pain relief. Once the patient is stable, we can treat the disruptor hit directly with a protoplaser, which should fix the damage done to the cellular structure. Do you have any allergies? I'm highly allergic to metorapan. I was given it once and my airways swelled until it was completely blocked. I almost died. Don't give metorapan. Very common drug used to treat managed pain, especially in patients with this level of trauma. Good thing we caught this. The wrong medication could have been disastrous. Are you taking any medications currently? No. Do I look like I should be? Have you been treated for anything related to this issue? How often do you think I'm shot by a breed? The last time I saw a physician was 2 years ago. I was treated for polywater intoxication. The hell is that? Oh, is that stuff from that stupid episode where the whole crew turned drunk? When was the last time you ate? Midday, I guess? What does that have to do with anything? Why haven't you given me pain meds yet? What were you doing before you were injured? I was repairing a power conduit on Deck 2 when the breed came out of engineering and shot me. They didn't even give me a chance to surrender. I wouldn't have fought them. Okay. Oh, they already said that. So, assimilate, bacaridine. So, we don't want Metorapan. And then we use a protoplacer. Wait. What am I missing? I did everything. Oh. Okay, so Metorapan was bad, but we didn't see any counterindicators for morphinolog. Oh, that's chronic pain. Sports-related injury and muscle spasms. That doesn't sound right. Serious trauma injuries. Metorapan isn't... Okay, so we may want Metorapan. Oh wait, no. That's the one that's... death. Cranial or upper spinal region. Okay, so it sounds like bicaridine, despite its addictiveness, is our best bet. I actually really like this. This is a really good way to do, like, non-combat puzzles. If, and I don't want to find out if it's true, but if it's possible to fuck up and make things worse. Because a possibility of screwing up is important to making a game a game. The pain from the disruptor wound is subsiding. That feels much better, thank you. It's having the desired effect, Captain. Now we can use the protoplacer on the wound to treat it without causing undue pain. Now we need a protoplacer, I guess. Maybe that's something a real doctor should do? Hang on. Oh, no. That's for us. Good work with that last patient. Has anyone ever told you that you have a talent for medicine? I need someone to check out the patient on table 3. I would appreciate any help you can give us. Mother? Is that you? What hurts? An older boy named Tosca used to take my favorite toys when I brought them to school. If I tried to fight him to get them back, he'd break the toys so no one could play with them. My mother said Tosca was out of balance. Do you have any allergies? I hated the taste of my mother's stew when I was young. She tried to convince me it tasted like spring, but I thought it tasted like bugs. You taking any medications? More childhood memories. Have you ever been treated for anything related to this issue? I loved it when my mother would sweep me up in her arms and hug me tight. She smelled like love and cooking herbs. Okay, the patient seems disoriented and unaware of their surroundings. Maybe a symptom of brain trauma. We can't rule out a psychological breakdown until we do a mental status check. The stress of the green attack may have been more than the patient's mind could process. Do you know your name? My sister had a doll she used to call Ilka. Do you know what time it is? I love catching umak insects at twilight. Do you know where you are? Can we have a dessert now? I finished all my vegetables. Do you know what year it is? My sister is 3 years older than I am. That meant my mom let her do all the fun things while I had to sit and watch. So, yeah, definitely an altered mental state. I recommend that we scan brain tissue for deep trauma. A hyperencephalogram should reveal if there is any damage. Tell me the story of the preservers again. I forget if this is something that's in the game or just, like, a theory of my own. Was that the thing I wanted? Yeah, I guess so. But... I think the reason that the Defiri are obsessed with this notion of balance is that the reason they needed to be saved from their homeworld was they caused an ecological disaster. Captain, it appears there is a cortical implant in this patient's brain that is causing disorientation and delusions. There's an extremely high amount of neural activity in the area around the implant. Perhaps if we were able to decrease the activity with an anesthetic, the patient would be more responsive. I want anesthetics. It's an anesthetic that is also used in gaseous form to incapacitate large numbers of hostile humans. Used for calming hyperactive nerve impulses. That sounds like what we want. Known to interfere with cranial implants. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. Where am I? I remember the Breen attack, and there was this medic. He seemed sad. The Breen implanted me with a cortical implant. It has been forcing me to relive memories from my past. Please help get it out of my head. I don't want to live like this. That is so fucking creepy. That is straight up terrifying. That, to me, is scarier than the Borg. I'd kind of forgotten about that, because, again, frickin' terrifying. Why would I want a medication? I don't want a medication. I want to talk to the doctor. I'm not familiar with any technology like this. Any attempt I'd make at removing it would be based on an educated guess. We have captured Breen in the brig waiting for transport to a holding facility. Perhaps you should question them. One of the monsters who did this to my patient might know how to reverse the process. What is up with these, like... Oh, those are, like, green ice shard thingies, aren't they? Sir, there are a few things we should know about the Breen before we begin our interrogation. Despite our less-than-civil encounters with the Breen in the past, we have discovered ways to handle them. They are a warrior race. They do what is expedient and will often take prisoners rather than kill. You get more work out of a slave than a dead man, after all. To the Breen, it is only logical to put their duty above all. They survive, but they do not live as we do. The Breen are very concerned with personal honor. Do not insult a Breen's honor or suggest that they kill without cause, and you should be fine in your interrogation. Okay. Somewhere around here. Ah. What are you looking at, Riemann? What is your name? Look at you, cowering in the shadow of Thought Trell. What hope could the Deferi possibly have against might like his? I will not answer your questions. Go bother someone else. Tell me about Thought Trell. Thought Trell has more power and vision than a pathetic being like yourself can possibly comprehend. The Deferi will be the first to fall to his might, but they will not be the last. He will not stop until the entire Alpha Quadrant serves the Breen Confederacy. Someday soon I will stand on the blasted remains of your homeworld and celebrate our victory. I will grind the remains of your leaders into dust under my boot heels. Thought Trell will be the man who makes this possible. Well, you're pleasant. And also not who we need to talk to. Are you here to let me go? What's your name? I am Tran. Okay. Torture me if you wish, but I will never betray the Breen Confederacy. What is your name? So, Tran was the only one willing to talk to us, so let's interrogate Tran. What do you want, Riemann? What kind of monster are you? No, I'm not going to ask that. What is your story? I do not understand what you mean. I am a soldier. I have no story. Everyone has a story. What led you to be here? I'm a combat medic in the 5th Order. Yes, that's right. It's Dr. Tran. I was ordered to go to this system by my superiors. I'm sure that you have encountered other Breen in the Deferi sector. Also, fun fact, Pendleton. I'm blanking on his first name. But, Penn Ward. I was blanking on his last name. The guy that created Adventure Time worked on some of the Dr. Tran shorts because his roommate created them. Anyway. What does attacking a civilian transport have to do with the Breen expansion? Ah, damn it. I screwed that up. I screwed that up. I screwed that up. Damn it. Commander's the purple. And now we can't hear. All audio signals entering and leaving this cell are being blocked by a dampening field. I think that they dummied it out of the game anyway. The commanding officer cannot hear what we were saying. My superior thought these Deferi civilians might have the information for which we have been searching. While I might have disagreed with his choice of target, it's not a soldier's place to question his commanding officer. I think my dissension was the reason I was selected to join the assault on the ship's bridge. A dangerous task in the best of circumstances. Did you object to your commanding officer about this assignment? Someone like you couldn't understand, but in the Breen Confederacy, we obey our commanders. I may not always be pleased by what I am ordered to do, but I understand there's a goal that must be achieved, and I may not have all the facts that my superiors do. Do you believe that the goal you're attempting to achieve is worth killing civilians? I didn't want to attack this ship. There's a nobility to being a soldier. When I enter battle, I know I could be killed. I know that others will die at my hands, but that is what we must do. It is part of being a soldier. Civilians are not part of this unspoken agreement. They do not wake up each day and know in their hearts it could be their last. They should be out of bounds as targets for people like you and me. There is no honor in fighting someone who is unprepared to fight back. I regret that I had orders to kill those civilians. More than that, I regret that I carried out those orders. What were your orders? I'm a combat medic. Normally my task is to repair the injuries of my fellow soldiers. On this mission, I was tasked with capturing civilians and fitting them with subspace cortical implants. These devices are barbaric even by our standards. That's a weird sentence. We use them to obtain memories from the most obstinate of interrogation subjects. This particular plant has a subspace relay intended to capture and transmit those memories, so that my superiors can sift through the secrets locked in our victims' minds even as we moved on to implant more subjects. Why? What information did the Deferi have that you needed so badly? I'm not sure what exactly the commanders wanted to learn from these people. I can only guess that my superiors wanted information that they felt could be handled by any member of the Deferi population. The cortical implants were calibrated to bring long-term memories to the surface, even going back to the target's childhood. Perhaps they wanted to learn something that even a Deferi child might know. Would the probed Deferi know what memories were being searched? Perhaps if they had the mental fortitude to recall the memories triggered during their interrogation. The pain can be quite intense. How do we remove the implant? The removal of the implant is a very delicate procedure. They're intended to be strong enough to survive the interrogation process, but too difficult to be removed by the subject or anyone else. I have worked with these implants for some time. Have your doctors talk to me, and I will tell them what they need to do to remove them. Okay. So, like I was saying, I think they've dummied it out. But it used to be, if you talk to Tran correctly, he would join you as a bridge officer. Or at least you would get a Marine Science bridge officer. This is just the information we needed. I will round up a surgical team and we'll begin the process of removing the implant immediately. I spent some time talking to the patient while you were in the brig. It sounded to me like the brain implant was triggering memories from early childhood, many involving rhymes and songs. Rhymes and songs? Most Deferi parents and grandparents sing to their children and tell them stories of our past and our tradition. A common theme in our songs is the Preservers. We sing of their travels through the universe, their efforts to maintain the balance of their great archive. My children are particularly fond of songs about the Preserver Archive, a hidden place where they left all of their technology and records of the ancient days. It's an interesting story, but I don't know if a place like that could actually exist. After all, we are talking about children's rhymes. So, yeah, now we know what the Breen are after. They think the Preserver Archive is real, and they're trying to work out from Deferi nursery rhymes and folk tales where to find it. And we need to talk to Tran again. Thank you for returning. I know that helping you was the right thing to do, but because of that, I can never return to the Breen Confederacy. Therefore, I would like to request asylum. Much has happened now, but I can see... Much has happened between our races, but I see now that you are different. Perhaps it is time for a different sort of Breen. However, I am not alone in this request. There are a small group of Breen that share my feelings. We know that attacking innocents is wrong. If you accept us, we would all like to join you. I will give you the information necessary to contact them. It may take some time before they are willing to respond. Your future actions will help speed up that process. Send a communication based on Tran's information. I can't be sure that it was received, so at this point I believe the only thing we can do is wait a response. A Breen capable of reason. I never thought I would see that. I'm surprised, but I'm not going to complain about good fortune. The Deferi seem to have things under control for now. Are you ready to leave the system? Yes. Now stop being racist. Of course they're a breed who can see reason. How would they have a civilization otherwise? I remember stories about the preservers from my childhood, and of course we have the runes linked to them on Defera, but I've never heard of an intact preserver installation. The Breen, however, are taking these stories quite seriously, and if the Breen managed to acquire preserver-level technology, they could shift the balance of power in the entire Alpha Quadrant. It's lucky that you were able to establish a connection with Tran. I believe that he was sent by the powers to help maintain the balance in the galaxy, and I am grateful. I know your intelligence service has more questions for him, but after that I promise I'd do what I can to see that he and any other breed who disagree with their government's actions are not forgotten. One of your commanding officers was requesting to speak with you. You should consider meeting with them when you are done here. I guess I'll take that. I'm not going to use it. I don't know what that was about a commanding officer. Alright. Shall we jump into the next one? I think that's the last one we're doing. I think that may be the last one of the arc. Ooh, those are pretty nice. You must return to Defera immediately. The Breen are searching for preserver technology, and they have once again targeted the ruins near our city. I fear that more of our people will die, and with each death, the balance shifts. These attacks need to stop. We are depending on you. Stop the Breen, and keep the secrets of the preservers safe from their treachery. Out of curiosity. Nope. To Defera. Let's use something we haven't in a little while. Nope. Nothing. Oops. That was a mistake. That was not a button I meant to press. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. I fucked up. I fucked up. Oh, thank God. I can't just turn it off. I was going for a long time. There we go. Cold case. Preliminary scans confirm the ambassador's suspicions. It's a portion of the star... What star chart? I think you're missing something. Something is interfering with the scans, though, so we can't pinpoint the location from here. Now, wait till you might be able to do surface scans in order to locate the star chart. Did we miss a story bit? I feel like we missed a story bit, or something got cut, revealing that there's a star chart that we're assembling from ruins. Yeah, are there any, I actually want to fulfill that, since it's only requires harvesting a material from space, and then it'll be met. That's pretty easy to do. There we go. And now I've met the Endeavor. And receive whatever the reward is, but Endeavor rewards tend to be decent. Zoom, zoomy, zoomy, zoom. Come on. There we go. So, yeah. Odds are good there's a star map fragment in those ruins. Sir, I've just received updated data from the ship's computer. Apparently, this site closely resembles a preserver site in the Beg End system. The indigenous people there were able to access the site by performing a ritual. Records indicate that 3 people arranged themselves atop plinths, forming arrows to point east, then south, then southeast. Okay. So first, we want to form an arrow pointing... Okay, so do all these light up, or just these? These do. We want 3 people. So first we want an arrow pointed east, which looks like it would be on this one. Okay. This is going to be easier to do with this. Siddig, you stand here. Perfect. Good. Then, oh, there's a middle option. Oh, well, that makes this easier. We can just use the middle one to point east. Alright, Siddig, change my mind. Or released. And now I want you to stand here. Not to look here. Come on, triple. I apologize. And Yessa. Here. Ah, something lit up. Power fluctuations at the base of the structure. Only 2 more configurations until we are granted access. Next was south, which is... Okay. Next is south, which is this way. So we want to move Liesa to there. There we go. Something is definitely working, sir. I'm picking up significant energy shifts in the structure beneath us. One more configuration should unlock the structure. That was southeast. So that's this way. So we're going to want to move him there. And come a turbolic there. Okay. Nope, not close enough. That's not what I meant to do. Acidic. Disconnect. And then move here. Damn it, Acidic! There. And then move over here. Why can't you activate that? Because we've got 3 activated because of bloody... No, that's not the problem. Toma! Stop activating things. Okay, you, Tome. Oh my god. You, Tome. Go over there. Acidic. Come here for a sec. Now, right in the middle of the thing. There we go. Now we're pointing northeast. We want southeast. So you can go over there. Damn it. There. Okay. Now we're pointed southeast, I think. Yes. We've done it, Captain. Sensors show that the structure is reconfiguring itself internally. It appears to be generating a holographic display matrix. We can review the data later, but I think we found the first portion of the Preserver's star chart. Oh no, I want you to use attack actions normally. What I want. But I also want you to stop. Ah, that's what I needed. Get everybody off their marks. Okay. And go back to this. Now let's scan the hologram. Captain, ship sensors are reporting multiple anomalous contacts. Might be Breen ships at long range. Transporter room is standing by to beam you up as soon as you're ready. There's a Breen attack force converging on our position, Captain. They must have realized that we'd be coming here for part of the star chart. I'll bet they waited for us to do the work so they could swoop in and steal our data. There's no room to make a run for it. We're gonna have to fight our way out. Going to red alert. About 19 seconds to charge. Okay. That's the last of them, sir. Though with all this debris, I don't trust the sensors. I'll be happier once we're out of this area and back into open space. The computer has completed its analysis of the star chart, and there's an encoded marker indicating that the Sahinga system is a significant location. Perhaps we should investigate there next. I'll lay in a course on your command, sir. But yeah, this is the main reason I like this arc between the medical puzzle thing in the previous one and the what's the word I'm looking for? Medical puzzle thing in the previous one, and the like positioning puzzle in this one, and the general theme of exploring and assembling the star chart and all that stuff. It's fun. Captain, I'm detecting a gaseous anomaly on the far side of the planet. The line of navigational beacons should lead us right to it. That seems like a good place to start our search, sir. So there's this anomalous gas pocket. That would be that, I guess. Are those things pointed down? Well, maybe it's not this. I thought it would be, but no. Is it this? Doesn't look much like a gas pocket. There's a bunch of rocks around it. Oh, no. Maybe it's the gas deposit we're looking at. The heck was that? Did we vacuum it up? We transported a sample of the gas to containment chamber, sir, but there's no record of anything with this molecular structure on record. It might be a synthetic compound or the byproduct of some sort of as yet unknown stellar phenomenon. Science staff is now working on a complete analysis. Got something, Captain. Observers were known to encode data in the world around them, so I superimposed the molecular structure of the gas sample onto the orbital pattern of the system. It's a map, sir, and it's pointing to something beneath the surface of that small moon. Recommend we approach and perform a level 1 submolecular scan to determine if there's anything of note there. The inhabited moon? Or not inhabited, but moon with life on it? Looks like. Doopy-doopy-doop. Doopy-doopy-doop. Hello? Oh. We didn't want the planet. Oops. Got a little close there. We wanted the moon. Okay. What's the moon look like? Oh, it just looks like a moon. Scan the moon. Scan the moon. This is incredible. The interior of the moon is hollow and it contains a vast geological orrery that charts the heliocentric motions of everything in this solar system. The orrery suggests that there should be 2 large asteroids in this area, but I'm only reading 1. Perhaps they collided the millennia since this structure was created. I am, however, reading an energy source on the remaining asteroid, but it's buried deep in the rubble of the surface. If there's a collision, it's logical to assume that the rubble is all that remains of the second asteroid. We'll need to remove the rubble to get a better reading on the energy source. This part's a little too hand-holdy, which is a recurring problem with puzzles in Star Trek Online. They either tend to be extremely, like, blatant, like, I am a minigame types of things, or they're really, really hand-holdy. Okay, those... Yeah, that's the thing, alright. Astonishing. Who knows how long this trail of breadcrumbs here has been here, just waiting to be discovered. We should scan the star chart and add it to our existing fragments. Perhaps it will point the way to the next fragment. The computer synthesized the new star chart from our 2 fragmentary scans, Captain. Preliminary analysis indicates that whoever created these charts placed great significance on an L-class planet in the Monex system. Course plotted and standing by to engage on your command. Monex system. Yeah, getting a little shaky there. We are very close to this star. The heck was... What is going on right now? Okay. But yeah, this is not too... Just a little tweaking. This could get much closer to... And I think I've described this before as a good model for exploration in video games. The Discoveries system in Skies of Arcadia Legends, where you hear rumors about, where basically throughout the game there are scattered these discoveries that once you get close enough to them with them on camera, you count as having seen. And at particular points in the game, if you haven't already found them, someone else will. And there are little clues scattered around to some of them. Sometimes you can buy information off people, sometimes there's hints of other kinds to tell you where they are. And it's a way to really get you looking for stuff and exploring, and they could give you like achievements or something for finding them, like... Or maybe sometimes rare R&D materials, or who knows what. Even sometimes you might get a, I don't know, a duty officer. Because you found something. Captain, I'm detecting a Breen squadron dead ahead, but they're moving away from us at full impulse. Breen almost always stand and fight when they encounter a Romulan vessel. They must already have what they came for, or else they would be engaging us directly. We can't let them get away with a piece of the star chart. They could beat us to the archive. We'll have to chase them down and take the chart back. You little punk. Get back here.
Ship is under attack.
Sir, we've intercepted a transmission from one of the Breen ships. The message was unsecure. They must not have had time to encrypt it during the firefight. It contains a fragment of the star chart. They must have retrieved it from the planet before we arrived. For all we know, Breen ships could already be en route to the archive. I'll begin analysis to determine our next location immediately. Star chart analysis is complete, Captain. The map is leading us back to Rave 2. We need all the pieces of the chart to find what the preservers were hiding. We will not let the Breen stand in our way. Course laid in, sir. We can leave on your command. Scanners are picking up evidence of a running skirmish on the surface of the planet, sir. It appears the Breen are attacking an archaeological dig site. We better get down there as soon as possible if we don't want the Breen to escape with another piece of the star chart, sir. Star chart, sir. Captain, take a look at these scans. The frozen rock face near the center of the crater shows signs of a hollow interior, and these readings are consistent with reservoir power sources. There are multiple Breen life signs in the area, sir, and they're moving in a search pattern. They haven't found the entrance yet. You'll have to subdue the guards in order to approach the site. that it? That would seem to be it.
Shield losing power. Shield losing power.
The Breen threat has been eliminated, sir. We should take this opportunity to find a way into the cave. Okay. Where would one do that? Exactly. Back down here. Just seeing trees. They're all kind of up on stilts. Ah. A cave wall, I see. No? That's not doing it. Oh, no, that was. Okay. Oh, these are things. And those are Breens. You gonna, do anything? There we go. I'd like to personally thank you for finding the final Star Trek fragment. If I'd known you were going to ultimately prove useful, perhaps I'd have considered sparing your life. Of course, I'd have only spared it up to this point anyway, so things would have ended the same either way. Still, considering all you've done to aid the Breen on their final goal, I might consider letting you and your officers live. Why not just beam back to your ship and flee back to the shadows? If you wish to fall today, however, I'm happy to help you. Why don't you think it over and give your answer to Thought Palmer? He's been dying to meet you ever since the defeat of Thought Bram. Damn. Didn't quite get it in time. Where's my mouse pointer? There it is. Help! Someone! Thank you. Oops. Scan the Star Trek. We have acquired the Star Trek. Assemble Star Trek. Scanning and transmission are complete, Captain. We should now be able to follow the Preserver's Star Trek. With luck, we'll be able to follow. With luck, we'll be there and gone before the Breen arrive. Standing by to beam up the away team on your command. Ah. Excellent work, Admiral. Our stellar cartography teams are looking at the star charts you recovered as we speak. It might take some time to completely compensate for stellar shift, but if we can pinpoint a location, I am confident that my government will authorize an expedition to find this Preserver archive. All things in balance, and all things in time. Yeah, I'm gonna take the engines. Let's see. Oh, right, engines. Wait, what am I using? I'm using the Jem'Hadar shields. Why am I using the Jem'Hadar shields? Oh, because they're good. But I don't want their visuals. No wonder my ship has been unpretty of late. Or not as pretty. That's much better. And for engines, let's compare. Slightly worse turn rate. Even when the engines are disabled, they've still got some speed. Okay. The main question is, this would replace Dominion synergy with superconducting phase channels. So what do superconducting phase channels do? Alright, I have to look at it in the inventory for that. More damage from my projectile and better power transfer. What does Dominion Synergy do? Polar damage and more draining for the drainy thing that I completely forgot to use the entire last mission. Yeah, alright. I think it is worth... Because I've already got one of the items in the set, right? Yeah. I think that's worth it. Let's go with the Combat Impulse engines. And they turned my engines from red to kind of this faint purpley color. Okay. Alright. Oh. I think I'm going to call it here. Had a good 4 hours of playing. Hope y'all had fun. Hope y'all are still here. Nobody's talked in quite a while. I hope the chat didn't break or something. But yeah. Next week, we'll pick up with the last mission of the Ark, Cold Storage, as we find the actual archive. And then we will do the new Romulus Arc, which, when back in the day, that was the dividing line between end-game content and regular game content. Now I believe the official placement of that line has shifted 2 arcs later. But, yeah, back in the day, that's where it was. Anyway, thank you all for watching. And see you all next time. Bye!